How many meals should you eat per day? This really, in my opinion, boils down to personal preference. If we're talking about fat loss, eat a number of meals that facilitates you having the best level of adherence. If we look at the research data on fat loss and BMR, metabolic rate, in the most highly controlled settings where people eat the same amount of calories and they vary the number of meals, we just don't see a difference in metabolic rate or overall fat loss with changing meal frequency. Some people have argued, well, if you eat more meals, it stokes your metabolic furnace. Other people have argued, well, if you eat one meal per day, you spend more time in the fat burning zone. But the reality is, when they control overall calorie intake and they look at number of meals, it doesn't make a difference on fat loss. So for fat loss, choose whatever facilitates the best adherence for you. For muscle building, there may be a slight benefit towards having a few high-quality meals with high-quality protein. So if we look at rates of muscle protein synthesis, how long they last for in response to a meal, usually we're looking about 3-ish hours in response to a meal in terms of muscle protein synthesis. If we were wanting to maximize the amount of muscle we build, probably about 3 to 5 meals per day would be theoretically optimal. Now, they've done some human randomized control trials, but they haven't really seen big differences by changing the distribution of protein in terms of across the day. But it's tough to see differences in lean mass over an 8 to 10 week period with small differences in overall muscle protein synthesis. So it doesn't surprise me, but there have been a couple that have shown a difference in terms of having, say, 3 high-quality protein meals versus just at a single meal. And my PhD research in rodents showed that eating same total protein per day, but varying the way it's distributed, with one group getting high-quality, sufficient protein at 3 meals per day versus another group having most of their protein at 1 meal per day, the group getting the even distribution of 3 meals had a little bit bigger muscles by the end of the study. Now, it wasn't a huge difference, and it wasn't rodents, but the nice thing with rodents is we can control all the variables, and it was an 11-week study, and 11 weeks out of a rodent's life is a much, much longer period of time relative to their overall life compared to 10, 11 weeks in a human. So we're probably able to pick up some differences we wouldn't be able to in some of the human studies. You can still build muscle on 1 or 2 meals per day, but if somebody asked me what is the absolute best for building muscle, I would probably tell them 3 to 5 per day. Now, the great thing about Carbon Diet Coach is we don't pigeonhole you into any sort of meal frequency or number of meals. You want to do 1 meal per day? Cool, you can do 1 meal per day. You want to do 7 meals per day? Cool, you can do 7 meals per day. Carbon does not make you fit into one box of how to eat, because our goal is to facilitate maximum flexibility and maximum adherence, because at the end of the day, maximizing adherence is what is going to get the best results. It's not sexy, but it's what works, and we are evidence-based, focused on trying to get you the best results possible, and we do that through allowing you the flexibility to choose the methods that facilitate maximum adherence for you as an individual. If you guys are interested, make sure you follow Carbon Diet Coach or click the link in my description to find out more.